Hey YouTube, it's Kianna Alexander here, and this is the time when I'm going to deliver, as promised, the rude questions and just in general, the rude things that people say to me when they find out I'm a romance author. This happens all the time at events. Um, I don't get so many rude questions online, which is kind of strange because people generally get a little bold online and just say whatever's on their mind. But I get a lot of rude questions right in my face. It's kind of incredible the things that people think it's okay to say to you in public. What are you going to do? So the first rude question I usually get is, so, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So you try out all the things that you write about in your book? Have you experienced all those sexy parts? Y'all, come on. Can we get some maturity here? Did you go and ask Stephen King? So how many of those shape shifting clowns have you lived with? Do you go and ask somebody who writes like murder mysteries how many people they've killed? Why is it that you assume that because my books have sex in them that I have tried all the things in the books? And even if I have, what business is it of yours? Like, what kind of question is that? I don't get it. I don't get it. I think it just has to do with romance being what it is. It is written by women, for women, and about women. And because of that, no one takes it seriously and it gets all the crap and the disrespect. And I'm like, take that mess somewhere else. Here's another one. Why don't you write real books? What, pray tell, is a real book? My books come in print. They have a spine and a cover and pages that you can turn. If you like ebooks, they're like real electronic files that you can flip through. I think they're about as real as it gets. And this goes back to the same thing of, oh, it's lady books. So they must not be serious if it's written by a woman about women or about feelings and emotions and relationships. That means it's not anything to be taken seriously. It's not real literature. Yeah, boo on that. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that. If somebody has the wherewithal to sit down and write a story, have respect for that. It doesn't matter what they write. Fantasy's not real. Sci-fi is not real. Nobody's over there telling the sci-fi and fantasy writer that's not a real book what you write. Come on now. Mostly because most of those books are written by men. You seeing a pattern here? I'm seeing a pattern. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a pattern. Another one. How much money do you make? Short answer to that, by the way, not enough. But here's the thing. How often do you feel it's okay to go up to a person and just ask them point blank how much money they make? It's just kind of considered rude. And there's a lot of debate about whether or not as a society we should talk more about our finances and whatnot. But if you're a complete stranger off the street or somebody that's not helping me pay my bills, I don't know you any explanation about my financial situation. Like, why would you think it's okay to ask me that? I think it's rude to ask someone that you just met how much money they make. Like, you don't go into the doctor's office for a first appointment, and then when they finally call you back to see the doctor after you've been waiting an hour, hey, doc, how much money you make? It's rude. Just don't do that. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Why would you do that? Don't do it. Okay, so this one isn't so much a question as a statement. Do you want to hook up? Or I could show you a thing or two you could use in your books. Ooh, hoo, hoo. First of all, I'm married. Two, no. And Roman numeral three, what's wrong with you? Why you don't have no home training? That's just some rude stuff. That's just as rude as any of the other questions that have been asked, and maybe even ruder because now you're putting me under physical threat. You're harassing me at this point, so don't do that. If you're a man, or whatever the case might be, even if you're not a man, and you find out that a woman writes romance, that's not your end. That's not your invitation for a come on. Like, don't be a jerk. Like, just, try to be polite. Don't be a jerk about it. There's no reason for you to do that. I'm not looking for come ons. I'm already married very happily, and I'm not interested in any of that. And you're just gonna, like, the conversation is gonna be over with me. That's it. We're not talking anymore. If you come to me with stuff like that, I'm not talking anymore. Okay, so the last thing I get a lot of is, ooh, you write books? You should write a book about me. Girl, I could tell you all the stories about all the men I dated and all the things I did and all the things I tried and how it all went wrong. And I'm like, yeah, see, the thing about that is, everybody thinks their own story is interesting, but nobody seems to want to sit down and write their own story. I don't know what the correlation is there. But I am not lacking for story ideas. I'm not. I promise you I'm not. I fear that I will be dead before I can write all the stories that ideas are currently in my head, and that doesn't even count ideas that I haven't gotten yet, which I'm sure will be coming along any moment. So don't worry, I have plenty of story ideas. And usually this is followed by, usually this whole thing of, oh, you should write a book about me. My life is like so juicy. Usually that's followed by, okay, so I'll tell you what to write and you write it and we'll split the money. But see, the problem is I did all the work. All you did was sit down and tell me a bunch of stories. I typed, I rewrote, I revised, I edited, I proofread. I did all the work. I found a cover artist, all that. And you want to split the money? Mathematically speaking, that don't make any sense. So we're not going to do that. That's what we're not going to do. So that's it for the rude questions and statements. I mean, I could go on and on. But like I said, I'm trying to keep these videos to a reasonable length. Just in general, if you wouldn't say it to the pastor or to your mama, don't say it to me. Like just think about what you're saying before it comes out of your mouth. Just try to have some, just be mature and polite about things. If you have questions that didn't get answered so far in the series, definitely put them down in the comments. I will be checking the comments and I will answer all the questions that you leave in the comments in a future video. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you want to hear more shenanigans, of course you want more shenanigans, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way when shenanigans is uploaded, you're going to know. And then you need to tap the bell. That's the notification bell. When you tap that bell, every time I upload a video, ding ding, your phone's going to let you know so you don't miss nothing. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and keep up with the shenanigans, y'all.